When renovating a house, there almost always will be unexpected issues that take you by surprise and make you change course. Ours was the front porch. And after months of waiting for material, we are finally ready to start rebuilding it to give our home some much needed curb appeal. So when we bought our house a year and a half ago, we knew the porch was in bad shape. We didn't realize quite how much work it did need and that we were going to have to completely tear off the original porch because it was so badly water damaged, just damaged in general. Flooring was in really bad shape. They had patched it over the years. The foundation underneath wasn't great as well, so it needed to be rebuilt. The bottoms of the porch post that was holding up the roof were actually rotting away, so they weren't going to be tall enough to reuse. We actually used those posts as the legs of our island. We used what we could salvage from those posts because the top was in great condition. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it linked for you. Since purchasing this house, we have made it a point to use everything that we possibly could, but maybe reimagine it in a different way, use it in a different way in a different part of the house, and the porch posts were a great example of how you can use something that won't work for one space but could work for another. We've been waiting on material for quite some time for the decking. Since the porch was in such bad shape to begin with, I knew I didn't want to go with a wood floor here. I knew I wanted to go with a composite decking. Now it is more expensive than doing a wood floor, but it lasts a lifetime. Once it's installed, you're done. You never have to restain it, do anything to it. It was the best decision for us and our home. My goal for the porch is to replicate the original design. I don't want to change it. I just want to bring it back to life so that it kind of looks like it did when they first built the house in 1910. Okay, step one. When they built this foundation for us, we didn't build this ourselves, so we had our contractor do it. And when they built it, they put the boards about 24 inches on center apart. And when you use composite decking, you kind of want them to be a little closer together, more like 16 inches, like studs would be in a house, because they're a little bit on the flimsy side. So the boards are gonna go like this, right? So if you can see, if I stand on it in the middle, it bows down ever so slightly, but it does. That's not good. So we are gonna put 2x6 boards between each one. Now they're gonna actually be closer than 16 inches on center, which is even better. We're gonna do that in between each row. It's gonna give it a lot more support, and then we can start putting the decking down. Okay, now that we have more support between each kind of row of boards, it's gonna be a lot better. They now measure about 12 inches on center, which is even better than 16, so works great. So now we're ready to apply the decking boards, and I've got, based on my research, I ordered everything that I needed. So we have the Pro Plug system for deck and trim. They're the screws. Screw looks like so. They countersink below the surface so that we can come back with little bitty plugs. Same color on top. So we're gonna plug all the screw holes. I know, crazy. We're gonna plug all the screw holes so you never even see how it's attached. It just looks like completely polished. So I have 2 boxes of each of those, the screws and the plugs. Also, to help us put the boards down, I ordered these because I felt that they would be really useful. They're deck board spacers. They're 1/8 of an inch. And so when we put the boards next to each other, we're gonna put this down, sandwich it up against it. Basically spacers like you would do tile, but for deck boards. And I have like 6 of them. So we are ready. So the design that I wanna go for is that the boards are going to go straight out, straight from the house, off and kind of like waterfall off of the patio. So this one's gonna go straight like that. And then I mitered the edge here at a 45-degree angle. And also this one because this is how I want it to look when it comes down off the patio. See how clean that's gonna look? It's just gonna waterfall off. I moved the chair so Kinsley could watch us work out here. So we're gonna start with all of the top boards going. We're gonna start at this side and go that way, and then we'll come back and do the drop down waterfall effect. Since this I wanted to slide in kind of underneath the house a little bit, I'm gonna put every board here and I'm gonna mark where I wanna cut. I feel like that's how I get the best measurement all the time.
I can see that you are up and down. Give it a year and you can figure this out. Open it up when you are able to see. You can adjust to be with someone like me. Tell me your thoughts and I can show you my side. Give me a look when you are moving in my time.
Okay, yeah, that's real. This first board is really important because that determines the lines on all these boards. We're working on the patio, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so impatient sometimes when I want to see how things look and work. Like we have one board in and I'm like, oh, I want to plug it. Let me see what the plugs look like. So that's what I'm gonna do. Something, but I just want to put one in. I'm actually so glad I just did that because now I know we have to go a little further down with the screws so that the plugs work really well. Now that we have the first board down, I have this board cut. We're gonna use our 1/8 inch spacers. Should help to guide us so we can make sure that they're nice and snug. Guys, it is day 2 of putting down this decking. We've come into a couple of issues. One in particular are these Pro Plug system decking trim screws that are specific to this board and specific to the plugs. They strip. So like, not all of them, but some of them just like aren't up to par, I guess. And so when you're drilling them in, and if you can't get them down far enough, then you can't plug them and you're gonna see the silver. So we've had to, like, when they start to strip, it's not gonna do it. So we have to take them out, get a new one, and we're like somewhat, I feel like we're just like wasting a lot of them. We've tried different drill bit heads and to see if it was just like that was becoming a problem, but it's just where it's happening all around. So what we've done to remedy this for now, because when we're now halfway through our second box, we're positioning them 1/8 of an inch apart and we're just putting 3 screws per board. So 1 at each end and then 1 in the middle to hold it in place, make sure that we can get through the project all the way to the end, and then if I need to, I can order more of these. Oh, that was the only problem. I said a couple of problems. That was the only problem. So far, it looks beautiful and it's working really well. So we've got about 1/4 left to do. I also have learned about this decking project is that it is totally a DIY. It was going to be quite costly to hire someone to install this. The material already wasn't very cheap, and so it was going to be like double that. All you need is a drill. It is definitely something you can do yourself.
Just slow down, let's take this lightly. Teach me how you fly so free.
Okay, now we're working on the waterfall look. We kind of figured out what we were doing. Which is great, and I didn't know that this was going to be possible, but I'm actually getting 2 shorties down here for the waterfall out of the original board. I thought I was just going to be able to get 1, which is great because we're definitely going to have enough of the composite material to do the other side of the porch just down, and also maybe something in like the back door. I want like a platform there using the same mitered edge and meeting it up here. And then I created like a skirt to screw into along the bottom. Well, you guys, we have officially ran out of decking screws for the patio. I got all the pieces cut. We were dirty and filthy and ready to get it done, and we ran out. So I have ordered more. So if you're gonna be doing a space roughly around the same size as ours, I will put all the information and how many things you needed, because I thought that 750 screws would have been enough for this deck. I was wrong. I just ordered another box of 375 screws. I think that that's all we're gonna need extra. Fingers crossed. They will be here tomorrow and we can finish, but it is looking so good. I love the color, the tone of this decking, and then how it just feeds into the color that we did on the door, which was a color match. So it wasn't a surprise that it was gonna come out this good. You guys remember when we restored this door and did a front door makeover? We must have stripped, between my mom and I, we both worked on this project, we must have stripped off like 10 layers of paint. From the turquoise that was on it to underneath was like a different color green, then a yellow and a cream color to a white, because the house was originally white. And then once we got all the paint off, we were actually able to stain it the same color as the decking. It looks so good. I love all the original brass hardware, the doorbell. Can you hear it? Everything. What's actually been bothering me a lot about the front door is all the different colors of brass. One's really old, one's painted, it's been bothering me. And we also had a little bit of a scare. Kinsley, my little precious Maltipoo, there she is, that watches me work from the window, got out of the house for about 45 minutes while we ran to the hardware store. We came back, the door was open, I was panicked, my dad was here working. First instinct was to revisit the locking situation on this door, making it so effortless to deadbolt, because that's what I didn't do. So we're gonna be swapping out this deadbolt for a level lock, and a big thank you to Level for sponsoring today's video and for helping us make our home secure, but also more accessible for ourselves and guests, all without compromising style. All the smart locks that I've seen in the past have been these like large contraption type box things with huge keypads, just not making it very desirable to have on your front door, especially a style of house like this from 1910. So that's what's so great about the Level Lock. It looks like a regular lock, but inside it's crazy smart. So we got the Level Lock Touch Edition in matte black because I loved that it would tie in from the windows, so it would bring the black onto the door, and we wouldn't have this whole clashing brass situation on the door anymore. So installing the lock is super easy. All you need is a screwdriver. So I'm just gonna get the old one off here. So older doors were actually made thinner than the new doors are that are more standard size now. At least all of ours are. And what's great is Level actually offers spacers. So they go on each side on the inside of the lock so that we can still enjoy smart things without having to replace our door. So we get this beautiful door. So one of the questions I had about this lock is like, how does it get power to function? malfunction. Like how does that happen? So it does require a battery. It'll come with the level lock, and it's super easy to replace. The battery will last about a year depending on the use, but you just unscrew the tip. Ah! Don't lose that. Unscrew the tip and then put the battery in and screw it back. That is it. That's all you need to do to replace the battery. And it's chiming. She's working. So easy. So we have the Level Lock Touch Edition. So first I'm gonna download the app onto my phone and set up my lock. So name your lock front door. You can also have multiple locks. So if you wanted one for your front door, your back door, your garage. Rather than touch, meaning a fingerprint that the lock will read to open, because you have the app on your phone, the lock will sense when you and your phone gets close to the lock, and you can simply just touch to open. The Level Lock will also come with NFC cards that you can simply just tap to open, kind of like a hotel room. You can also put them on key rings, which I think are great for kids to hook onto their backpack, so they can always get into their house, and you know, to just hook on like your gym bag, you're running out or you're going for a run, you can just have it on you, so you can simply just have it and tap to lock and unlock. And hey, if you're not feeling smart that day and you just want to use a key, you can too. So the lock really meets you wherever you're at and however you want to access your home. We also got the Level keypad, which is going to be great for my parents. I can just program them a unique key code that they can have that can unlock and lock the door. This is also great for rental properties, for vacation rentals. You can change the key code with every unique visitor. If you connect the lock to your Apple HomeKit or Ring doorbell, you can access your lock from anywhere. And you know, when we bought this house, we wanted all of the charm and the character that having a 1910 home really afforded, but we didn't want to live like we were in 1910. I feel like this Level Lock gives us the best of both worlds. Smart, modern technology, but not in your face like it's out of place on a home like ours. You guys can check out all of their products on level.co and check out their Level Bolt, because it can transform your existing deadbolt to be smart, which would mean the designs options would be endless. I want to paint this plate to be black, so this will be black and white, which is chef's kiss. Now we are ready to do this part. These are our new porch posts, closest shape to the original porch. I wanted it to have the same kind of like design, and we decided not to do the middle one. We didn't need it for support, so it worked in our favor that we didn't have to have it. So we have 3 posts going on. One of the reasons that the original porch posts were really rotten along the bottom is that there was no separation from the wood deck to the post. So nowadays what they do is they put these spacers, I don't know the technical term for them, and basically these will lift the porch post off the decking about an inch so that water can pass around and through. So we're gonna attach these, and this is going to hopefully make our wood posts last a lot longer this time. Now, I'm gonna put this on here. Oh, perfect fit.
I'm not broken, but who else could I be in a time like this? I'm lost out at sea, but who else could I be?
Okay, so last night we just got the posts in place. Then this morning I stepped back from it and I was like, okay, if you walk in the front gate, the posts where they're at right now at 6 feet apart block the lights. But I can't fully tell. See, right now where you guys are, they're good. You see the light here, and then you see the posts. So it's fine. But if you're further back, you can't. So what I want to do is fix this light, make sure it's installed right, put this light up here so I can really see. Sure, that's where I wanted them to be. So let's install the light.
It's not over, and it never was for me. If I'm not,
I have the pretty LED bulbs, the ones that kind of look a little more like Edison, since they were clear. I wanted them to be pretty, so I got them in soft white, because you want light outside, but you don't want it to be, it's on at night, so you don't want it to be like blinding. I'm gonna light up the whole town. See if they work. How the electrical is set up for these lights, this light had to be installed for both of them to work. So I've had that installed for a long time, but it didn't work, obviously, because these weren't connected. So let's see. Fingers, cross your fingers. Yes! I'm getting very good at this electrical stuff. Okay, now that the lights are up, we can take a look at the position of the posts. You see, you are right at the front gate. So you see how it covers the lights, which kind of makes me sad. I think if we move them out one board width on the deck, it will not block the lights anymore. And I'm thinking that that's the way to go. So I'm gonna try it. We could always move it back. I actually think that's much better, and it widened the entryway a lot, so it makes it feel even bigger. We'll make sure that those are all really, really straight and plumb before we screw them in. We got a very special package, you guys. Very special. It better be what I think it is. Sounds like it. More screws. Ta-da! So now we can add in the rest of the screws for these boards and finish the skirt.
I tell myself that I'm no fool. I don't wanna be blue, I don't wanna be lonely. Who am I kidding? I'm all of these things, but who else could I be? After October, after you, after it's over, after October.
Oh my gosh, you guys, what a big project. This is a major improvement for our front porch. It has been looking pretty sad. So this is definitely a step in the right direction. As much as I love the joint that we made along the edge, I think over time it may get damaged, and it's very sharp. I definitely want to get a corner trim similar to what we did in the bathroom, but made out of the composite material that matches, and just cap it. It'll look cleaner. I think it will protect it over the long term. And the next big project for the porch is going to be the railings and the spindles to recreate that look, because I already have our spindles. I've had these for months and months and months. These are going to be our new spindles that go on each side of these columns and wrap around the side of the porch. They are so pretty. They are very similar to what was original to the house, but the original ones on the house were oval. They were very thin. I wanted it to be the same size all the way around. I felt like it looked a little more expensive. It looked more elevated that way. So that's going to be the next big project. Also all the landscaping. The DIY fence you guys are going to finally see, because I'm finally going to finish that and paint it black. And putting about 800 more plugs in all of these screw holes. So we're going to paint the ceiling, get gutters installed. We need gutters. Build steps up to the deck because it's a little bit too high, and then this really pretty paved walkway up to the steps. We need skirting for the actual house, and we need to level out all the land because it has a bit of a slope. And then of course landscaping, and then finally decorating. So this is just the beginning. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 1 in making over our front yard. Stay tuned. We will be back next Sunday for another episode. And this is her first time out on the porch and not escaping. Don't you run away, I would miss you too much. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye, guys. I would miss you so much. Wouldn't you miss me? I wouldn't want to run away. Bye, guys.
So I'll keep turning it around till I forget all